Hello, welcome everybody on this kind of rainy day. My name is Chanel West and I'm the current Fresno City Toastmasters Club president. So welcome to our members, and it looks like we have a guest today joining us. Hello Lorena, thanks for being here. I'm going to start off the meeting by reading our club mission statement, just to give us all a reminder of why we are here. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. I'm going to give a couple of business announcements just to start off. Today is our last club meeting for 2021. We're going to be taking the next 2 weeks off in observance of the holidays. So we'll come back on January 4th and resume at our regular meeting time from 12 to 1 p.m. on Tuesdays. I want to give a couple of projections also. Our board met yesterday and we're already in the process of planning some stuff for 2022. So on January 25th, which will be the last Tuesday in January, we're going to be having a Fresno City Toastmasters open house. More information and details to come on that, but I want to start putting it into everybody's heads right now. We're hoping that all of our members will be able to invite at least one person that they know or have a connection with to come to that open house. It's going to be geared specifically towards trying to outreach to new members and bring people into the club. So if we can get everybody to bring at least one person, that's our goal. And if you're also able to schedule ahead of time and come in person to that, we will have food and it will be kind of a social time as well to interact. And then the second thing is on February 8th, 2022, our club is going to be having our in-club speech contest. So for those of you who don't know or might be newer members to Toastmasters, every year Toastmasters International, which is the large national branch or overview, they have a worldwide speech contest. And the speech contest takes place at different levels. The first level that it starts at is the club. And then if you win your club contest, you'll advance to your area contest. If you win that, you'll advance to your division contest and so forth. So we're going to, on the 8th, hold our club contest for the international speech contest, which is just it's an open topic. You get to choose what topic you'll speak on. It'll be 5 to 7 minutes. So putting that out there for our members as well. If any of you are potentially interested, you can start thinking about that now and what your speech topic might be. And if you have any questions about that more in detail, feel free to email me also. Okay. And just a couple of quick reminders for people who are joining on Zoom. Please stay muted unless you are speaking. The exception to that is usually during our table topic time. If you want to unmute to participate in a discussion, that's totally fine. And we also use the jazz hands to replace applause, since people are muted, so that we can communicate when we are applauding for people. And then the final thing is I want to make sure that we have all of our roles covered for today. It's going to be a little bit of a different meeting today. We did have a couple speeches planned, but they were not able to give the speeches at the last minute. So we're going to be doing an extended table topics time with Sarah. You're still good to do the table topics, right? Okay, awesome. Thank you. It looks like Mike Ellis is not here. Kalani, would you be able to take over as Grammarian? I don't have you on the agenda for anything.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay. And Monica is going to be doing general evaluator today for the first time. So again, Monica, if you have any questions, no worries, we'll just walk you through it. And if you follow the agenda, it will make it pretty easy. Okay, so with that, I would like to call up our Toastmaster today to the virtual podium, who is Ms. Sarah Dawson.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chanel. Each time we meet as Toastmasters, we get to have a theme of the day. Our theme today is Happy Holidays. I hope you guys are all having happy holidays. When I was going over, I was looking up and seeing how many holidays are actually in December, and there's a whole lot of very significant ones for a lot of different religions and cultural practices. And as I was going through each of them, I was trying to think, like, it seemed like there was a lot of things that they had in common. One of the things, there was actually 4 things that I found that they had in common in any holiday or break, anything like that. One is that they have time to rest, they have time of reflection, they eat, and they celebrate a momentous occasion. And so on each of these, I thought, so what is it? Part of them, so in Christmas, we get to celebrate the birth of Jesus. That's the momentous occasion. Kwanzaa, I did not even realize that in Kwanzaa, I guess it wasn't created until after the 1960s, after a big revolt, but it was a time, and they got it from a Swahili word, which indicates first fruits. And so it's all about their and celebrating and remembering, like on all the 7 days, celebrating each different tradition on those days. Hanukkah is something similar, where they are celebrating a miracle over 8 days, where there's oil at the lamps of the oils, so they light the candles each time, and it was only, they only had enough oil that was supposed to last 1 day, and it supposedly lasted 8 days. And so that is something that they celebrate. And Boxing Day, I thought, was the most interesting. I always thought it had something to do with shopping and Boxing Day, but it doesn't really. It was first in, what is it, Renaissance time? I don't know, something way back. I didn't write that part down, but it was celebrated a very long time ago. And it was actually the day, and they would take out the alms from the church that had been, all the money that had been left for the poor people. And so they would take it out, and that was when they would distribute it to those in need. And they would let servants have the day off to celebrate their own Christmas at home. Well, I thought that was really interesting. And then, I'm not going to say this right, I hope none of you are Japanese. Omisoka in Japanese is their New Year's Eve. It's a time where they get to reflect on the past year and, of course, hang out and eat and do all of this. So as we go into the new year, I hope that each of you, while you're celebrating, will get the rest that you need and time to reflect and get to eat some great food and celebrate. Back over to you. Back over to you, Madam Toastmaster, who is also our, we call that, the general evaluator for today. Thank you, Chanel.
Yeah, so Monica is going to be, excuse me, our general evaluator. So we'll pass it over to her.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Monica, yay.
No worries. Hi.
Okay. Go for it, Monica.
Thank you very much, Sarah, for that overview of holidays that's coming up. One thing that I just want to express, many people like me thinking, where did this year go? Now that we're in December. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our grammarian for the day, and that's going to be Kalani Young. Go ahead, Kalani.
Thank you, Monica. The word of the, first of all, being that we have a guest today, I'm going to go ahead and explain my role. And what I'll be doing is introduce the word of the day, its definition, a way to use it in a sentence. And then at the end, I'll be giving a report, pretty much just indicating who used the word today. That being said, the word of the day is going to be secular. Secular means not spiritual or religious. In her autobiography, the actor mentions that in her education in patriarchal school was not too different from that of secular institutions. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you for that, Kalani. Our next person I would like to introduce is going to be our all counter, and our all counter for today is Heather Davis. Go ahead, Heather.
Thank you, Monica. And as the all counter, I'll be looking out for things like crutch words, so and but. Mine oftentimes is, things like that, awkward pauses. So I'll be trying to keep a tally and account of that. And at the end of the meeting, I'll have a report for you as to what you said. And typically, if we're meeting in person, there would be like a fine jar or an incentive jar for each crutch word that you have. At the time, we're not doing that. And I'm thankful for that because I would owe quite a bit for that. So just know, talk how you can. Don't stumble if, like I'm doing right now. So just don't worry about it. And yeah, I'll let you know how things go at the end of the report. And I'll pass it back to you, Monica.
Thank you, Heather. So our next person I would like to introduce, I know we do them separately. We do Timer and Zoom Master, but our Madam President, Chanel West, she'll be doing both. So I'll go ahead and introduce her twice.
Thank you, Monica. I'll explain the timer role a little bit thoroughly since we do have a guest today. So we don't have any speeches that are happening in this meeting, but typically if we did have a speech, they're between 5 to 7 minutes long, and the goal for the speaker is to keep their speech within that time frame. So I will be using the Toastmasters timer app today to time our table topics. Table topics are between 1 to 2 minutes, and there are extemporaneous speaking time. We speak impromptu or off the cuff is another way to say it without being planned. When you reach 1 minute on your table topic, the screen is going to turn green, meaning that you've reached the minimum time. When you reach 1.5 minutes, the screen will turn yellow, meaning that you've reached the median. And when it gets to 2 minutes, the screen will turn red, meaning that you've reached the maximum time and it's time to finish your table topic if it's not already over. So I will be providing that today. And then I'm also acting as Zoom Master, which is the person who lets everybody into the meeting and also highlights the screen or to spotlight certain people when they're talking, because we do upload all of our videos to YouTube so that other people can watch, learn about our club, and learn more about what we do in Toastmasters. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you for that. So next, I'm going to go ahead and give it back to our Toastmaster. But before then, you will see me again later at the end just to let you know what my role is. At the end, I'm going to go ahead and evaluate the whole meeting as we go through. So our Toastmaster, Sarah, go ahead and take it over.
Thank you. Normally, this is the time where I would get to introduce the next speaker, but since we don't have any, we're going to head on over to table topics. Table topics, I also took over for Denny, and I based it on the theme of the day and in the 4 areas where we talked about in the opening thing of rest, reflect, eat, and celebrate. I'm going to go ahead and post the questions right now in the chat box if you want to see the questions, but I'll go over them right now. For those of you who have not participated in table topics before, it's a time where anybody, whoever wants to, can choose a topic. You have 1 to 2 minutes to speak about it. It's questions where you haven't had a pre-thought. So the speeches are usually well planned out. You've had time to think about it, gather your materials. These are speeches where it's off the cuff, it prepares you for media interviews and various things like that. So this is a time anybody is more than welcome, including guests. So please join us. The 4 questions are: 1, rest. Many people rest in different ways. For some, they sit, watch TV, or zone out. Others like to garden and keep busy, but they feel rejuvenated when they are done. The question is, do you get enough rest? And what do you do to rest? The second question is celebrate. Other than the traditional momentous occasions like births, deaths, and weddings, what is a momentous occasion that you remember every year? Third question you can choose from is eat. So to the foodies out there, what holiday foods do you either want to try next or are looking forward to this season, and why? And the 4th one is reflect. So reflect on this past year. Share with us the challenges and or joys of this year. Would anybody like to go first in sharing on one of these topics? Rest, celebrate, eat, or reflect? Oh, yay, Heather, go for it.
Thank you, Sarah. Since we're at the end of the year, I naturally do a lot of reflecting. December is my birthday month. A lot of things just kind of hit me all at once. You have all the holidays. And if I'm being totally honest, this year wasn't the most kind to me. It was a very hard challenge to overcome some of the emotional struggles that I was having. I lost some people that I thought would be friends in my life forever, and they're no longer. And for a while, I tried to convince myself that things were okay, that we could still be friends and that life can go on normal. But now, after months of going through that grieving, essentially, you know, a friendship breakup is just as hard as an actual breakup. And I'm at this point now where I'm able to reflect on this year and realize that even though it wasn't the greatest year, it did make me stronger. And my phrase for my birthday was, because I turned 28, it's 28, it's going to be great. And so that's really my goal this next year. And being able to reflect on this year has given me excitement for this upcoming year. I have a lot of goals in mind and I'm excited to reach those. I'm going to just put this out there now. I'm hoping to get some of my writing published. So that's a big goal of mine. And a lot of these realizations come from that reflection. So if you guys do have the opportunity to just sit down and reflect and just, you know, write things out or just have a cup of coffee and just think, I definitely encourage to do it. And that is kind of what I had been going through this year. And I'm excited for this year or this upcoming year. And yeah, so thank you guys for listening.
Thank you so much, Heather. 28 is great. Awesome. I like that. That's a great new thing. And I absolutely agree. A lot of times the great things have come out of the struggles that we have gone through, and it doesn't make it any easier, but it makes it more, I think, victorious and triumphant in the end when we finally get to the point where we've overcome. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Who else would like to share on resting, celebrating, eating, or reflecting?
Sarah, we have Emerson Estrada's here in person, and I wasn't able to get camera set up, so you can't see him, but he's raising his hand. So.
Oh, great! Thanks, Emerson. I'd love to hear from you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. So, in terms of the topic, I distinctly remember right before COVID, actually having the thought of, wow, things are going well in the world. Everything seems to be okay. And all of a sudden, COVID hit. And so it really is a punch to the stomach in terms of when you think that everything's okay and then everything changes. But I think that has taught me to ever be flexible and adaptable and to really focus in on what's most important in my life. And so as the years are progressing past that date back in March 2020 when this whole thing hit the fan, I really have spent time thinking about what's important. And for example, with my family, we have a lot of elderly people in my family who I love very much. And because of that, we are very careful with the whole COVID situation. And so normally we celebrate the birth of Christ and we get together on the 24th. And of course, at midnight, we treat it like it's like a New Year's. We hug each other and it's Merry Christmas, right? But because of the risk, now we're having Christmas at 3 p.m. on the 24th. And then everybody goes to their respective homes, and at midnight, they celebrate within their own units. So we're doing what's necessary to still celebrate, but then keep everyone safe. And so as I look forward into the new year, I think 48 will be great because I'm turning 48, and I'm actually going and trying to get my CPA license. And so there's going to be growth even professionally. So I look forward to it. And I pray that God would bless all of us. Madam Toastmaster?
Thank you so much, Emerson. We got 28 and 48 are great. That's awesome. I love that. And Emerson, I love your new traditions. And I was just thinking, because I got to spend a little bit of time in Italy. So 3 p.m. is actually midnight in Italy. So you could maybe integrate some Italian celebrations into your new thing. So thank you so much for sharing that. We really, really love it. Who else would like to share about resting, celebrating, eating, or reflecting? And I will slow down. Kalani, does that mean you want to go? You smiled, so I'm going to just take that, but you don't have to.
It's all good. Let's do question number 3. But before I begin, Chanel, how are we? I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to tell the time limit that we're at.
I am, I'm gonna hold it up to the screen. I forgot on Heather. That was my bad, but I will remember
good.
next time.
No worries. I just didn't want to keep rambling. All right, so number 3, eat. To the foodies out there, what holiday foods do you either want to try next or are looking forward to this season, and why? In our family, we tend to be a little more secular. Our traditions are more so breakfast tostadas, tamales, and my family does a Mexican drink called atole every Christmas Eve. If you're not familiar with atole, it is a traditional Mexican drink. It's served hot, and depending on the region of Mexico that you're from, you can have either chocolate, you can do one made out of corn. Ours in particular is the piña, so pineapple. So it's a pineapple cinnamon hot drink. And it is the most delicious thing in the world. And it is one of the memories I cherish most with my grandma, because when I was younger, she'd stand me on a chair and I'd be too short to still reach the pot. So I'd just be reaching over like this and trying my best not to spill the atole on me. And I'm looking forward to it this year because she said that she's going to teach me how to make it. So I'm stoked.
That's awesome. And you said it's called tortola? Is that right?
Atole, A-T-O-L-E.
Atole. Am I screwing it up? I'm so sorry if I am. Atole.
It's the effort.
Okay, that sounds awesome. So what is an atole?
I'm gonna find out.
Okay, well, I look forward to in the new year. I want to hear all about it. That sounds great. That sounds fun. But ours is ravioli making, so that's an intensive process too. So.
Very intensive.
Cool. Who else would like to share? And Lorena, you're more than welcome to join us or not join us as you prefer. If you'd like to give it a shot, go for it. If not, we'll let you off the hook.
Maybe Monica can go first.
Okay.
She wants to speak.
Okay. Go for it.
She wants.
It's okay. Go ahead, Lorena. If you would like, I can wait.
Oh,
No
okay.
problem.
Okay, thank you. Well, first, thank you for inviting me. And also, I didn't have the chance to introduce myself. So my name is Lorena and I am from Mexico. And I would like to answer the first question, rest. And well, do I rest enough? I think during this semester, given that I'm studying in college right now, I didn't rest as much as I needed. And that was probably my fault because I didn't need to have that much work. I took a class this semester that I didn't have to take. So I just wanted to get ahead a little bit because we're taking classes online, so it's a little easier. And well, how do I rest? During the quarantine, given that I cannot go to, well, many places, I have been like watching TV shows and sometimes watching movies. And also it's funny because during the weekdays, I like to exercise. And that was basically the way I could rest mentally. And well, I think those things are basically how I got rest this semester. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Lorena. Okay, and is it Lorena or Lorena? How do you spell say your name correctly?
It's Lorena, but Lorena, it's okay.
Lorena. Okay, all right, cool. Thank you so much. Oh, I think maybe back when I was in college, I did enjoy exercising and running and all that. Not so much anymore, but I should get back into it. Thank you so much for sharing that. And all right, Monica, do you want to go next?
Sure, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and answer number 3, eat. Holidays. For my household, we love tamales. And the best thing about eating a tamale is actually we have a tamale factory that goes on inside our house. We invite all the family over, males and females, and everybody participates in making tamales. We make tamales with pork, we make tamales with beans, we make tamales with cheese, we make sweet tamales. And once we're all done making these tamales, we sit down, we unwrap the tamale and we eat them. And it's just a wonderful thing that I enjoy doing with my family. This year, my son's bringing his significant other over for the first time for celebrating the tamale feast that we do have. Even though we've known her, this is her first time. And so I'm very excited to be able to share the tamale making process with her. So I know in the future, when I get older, she could take over and I can just sit down and enjoy the tamale without having to do all the work. So thank you very much and have a great day, everybody.
Oh, tamales. This food all sounds so wonderful. Thank you so much. So do you sell them or just enjoy them for yourselves?
No, we don't sell them.
Oh.
Yeah, we just enjoy them for ourselves.
I was ready to buy some.
Yeah, yeah. No. They are kind of pricey now. Yes, Lorena, I did see that you put something in the chat. Like, I'm surprised you guys have and make tamales over there. Very, very big in the Central Valley where we're from. Very big. You can go to the store and there will be people selling them on the street. So yes.
That's so awesome.
Yum, yum. Well, I think has everybody gotten a chance to, oh yeah, Chanel, I'm so sorry. Go for it.
Thanks. Starting my own timer. I'm going to address the last question, which is reflect. Something that I did this year that I am very proud of and also somewhat amazed is I actually ran 2 half marathons. The first ones that I've ever done. It's somewhat amazing if you know me because I, for most of my life, have been extremely unathletic. I was that kid who didn't play any sports, who was scared to fall down and get hurt. But I realized last year, you don't actually have to be very athletic as far as having skills or coordination in order to run. You just have to be stubborn. And that I do have. So I started running a couple of years ago, mostly for my physical and mental health. And this year I was able to run a half marathon in January and then another one last month in November in the 2 Cities Marathon. And while I certainly did not break any time records, I was excited to be a part of it and push myself to do something that required endurance. Just as somewhat of a perspective, my time for my last half marathon was 2 hours and 8 minutes for the 13.1 miles. The 2 guys who won the 2 Cities Marathon this year in Fresno, so they did the full marathon, which was 26.2. They finished in 2 hours and 32 minutes and ran, so it took them 24 minutes longer than me and they ran twice as far. People are amazing, but I'm only competing with myself and I was happy just to be out there and be a part of it. Thank you.
So much, Chanel. That is truly incredible that you were able to accomplish that, and it really does not matter if you are able to run PRs and records and all that stuff. The fact that you can get out there and run 13 miles is absolutely phenomenal and fantastic. So great job. I don't really ever want to run that far, I don't think. That is fantastic. Good job. And I think that is the end of all of the speeches. So I will turn it back over to the general evaluator.
Hi, that was a pretty fast meeting so far, right on time with everything. I'm going to go ahead and introduce the rest of our report. But before I get there, I just wanted to thank everybody for the stuff that you guys mentioned in December, whether you're secular or you're not. I just want to wish everybody a happy holiday. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to the timer report.
Thank you, Monica. Again, I apologize, I forgot to record Heather's time, but I think that you were right in there pretty close. Emerson, your time was 1:55, so you were right within the marks. Kalani, your time was about 1:30, so you also were right in the middle. Lorena, your time was 1:25, so great job coming in at a good time for your very first meeting and very first table topic. Thank you for participating. Monica, you were right at 1 minute, so just skated in there. And I was about 1:55, so also just within the time limit. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Madam President. And next will be our Auctioner, Miss Heather Davis.
Sorry about that. So I'll be honest, I am not the best all counter, but what I did hear and catch was just a few of you. I really did listen, and I did not hear anything from Lorena, Kalani, Monica, or Emerson. I myself had a couple you knows and ands and buts. Chanel, I caught like one from you, and Sarah, I caught one so. But other than that, everybody seemed to do really well. So I'm very impressed, and great job, Lorena. So anyway, I'll turn it back over to Monica.
Oh, Monica, you're muted.
How about now?
Now we can hear you.
Okay, my computer got stuck. Okay, so thank you for that. Next will be our Grammarian report, and that's going to be Kalani Young.
Thanks, Monica. Today's word of the day was secular, and I caught myself, and Monica, you are slick with it. You put it in right at the end there. Was there anyone that I missed? No? Okay. Well, there's always next week, or I guess the week after that. But thanks, Monica.
Thank you for that. Throughout the presentations today, or throughout the meeting, I think it went really smooth. Unfortunately, there wasn't any speakers or any speeches, but I think we did really well with table topics. I would like to see some more speeches in the future, but hey, it's December. I know a lot of people are on holiday, and there's a lot of other stuff going around, or going through. So thank you very much. I would like to go ahead and return it back to Madam President, Chanel West.
Thank you, Monica. Awesome job today with your first time as general evaluator. You were right on point. So I would like to offer Monica a virtual sticker for her first time doing that. And also I would like to offer Sarah a virtual sticker for doing double duty as our Toastmaster and Table Topics Master today. So Lorena, you already introduced yourself, but usually when we have guests, I just want to take a couple of minutes, and we definitely have time in our meeting today, to ask firstly how you heard about Toastmasters, and then secondly, what is kind of your interest or something that you're hoping to learn or get to practice in Toastmasters, if you wouldn't mind sharing.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Well, I do belong to a club, but here in Mexico. So our meetings are in Spanish, and I was like curious to see how the meetings are in the US. And also I would like to join a club if like the clubs still meet online so that I can practice English.
That's very cool. I think that your English is really good, and I was kind of thinking that perhaps you had been in Toastmasters before, because you seem very comfortable with the program and how we do things. You can kind of tell if people are green or not. And to answer that question, yes, we are going to continue to meet online for. I don't foresee that changing. We're doing hybrid meetings right now, so we offer inline and in person, but I think that after coming out of the pandemic, I think that online is here to stay. So we would love to have you join us. Can I ask where you live in Mexico?
Yeah, in Mexico City.
Okay, very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. And do you have any questions or comments for us about our club meeting?
Yeah, like how many members do you have in the club?
Right now we have 12 people who are members, but our our average weekly attendance has been averaging about 6 to 8. We're trying to boost that, and in the new year specifically, like we're going to have an open house and stuff. How many members is your club?
My club is a little bigger, but in Mexico, most meetings are 2 hours long. So in the US, it's so fast, so quick. But I like that it's 1 hour, the 1 hour meetings, and also that the club is not that big, so that everyone can participate and speak. And well, yeah, it was nice. How long the meeting lasts and how big the club is. I liked it.
Yeah, and usually we do make it to an hour. Today is kind of an unusual day. Like I said, we had a couple of speeches planned that didn't happen, but typically it will end around 1 o'clock.
That's perfect.
Cool. Okay, so the last thing that I would like to do is to see if anybody wants to get a jump start on New Year's resolutions and schedule any speeches for January when we come back. Just gonna put that out there and let it sit for a moment. Emerson?
Pat me down.
Yes, ideally.
Okay.
Ideally, we should go through pathways, but I don't foresee any problem getting you set up by January. It should be pretty quick.
Okay.
As soon as you just email Joey and he'll get your payment in.
Then sign me up. I'll do a speech.
Okay, would you like to do this first week in January, second week?
Second week,
Second week, okay,
please, yes.
awesome. And I'm gonna put myself down for first week in January. I'll give a speech when we come back on January 4th. I have about 3 or 4 speeches left in my pathway, so I'm trying to finish it up. Anybody else? No. Okay, I'll be sending out an email sometime so you guys can think about it. And if you want to sign up, then feel free to do that. I don't have anything else for today, so I think we're going to end the meeting a bit early. As Sarah, as our other board member on the call, is there anything that I am missing?
No, that was great.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming, everybody, and I wish you all a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Bye, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Bye. Nice meeting you.
Bye, Miranda.